We shouldn't be slaves to a wage or to a career. We needed to find a way out. We needed to escape. We've got a toilet and a shower, but it's not a full-blown shower, it's a pop-up system we use.
I didn't want to be sitting here and thinking, I wish we'd done that. I just didn't want to have any regrets.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with Nige and Diane, who sold everything to live full time in the van.
It's a great layout on the inside, so definitely stick around for the tour. And if you like the video, let us know in the comments what you think. And if you want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Back to it.
So we're Nige and Diane, and we've just left our traditional lifestyle and moved into our self-converted ex-Scottish ambulance, and we're also living in this small space with two Springer Spaniels.
Before we took the plunge and moved into this lifestyle, we had a hospitality business in North Yorkshire. We had no time to ourselves, and we were getting really stressed with life, and we needed to find a way out for our own health, our relationship, and for every other reason you can think of. We needed to escape. It is pretty much a 24/7 commitment. It just wasn't doing us any good.
And it was actually because of that hospitality business that brought us into the van life. Because we were working 7 days a week, we could never plan on holidays or book something, and that's how we initially started in 2017 with the van, was an escape to get away for the weekend or just overnight. And we bought a RAF minibus, which we converted. We soon found out it was probably a little bit too small, and we then purchased this in 2019.
We'd made all our mistakes on that first van, hadn't we? So that when we came to do this one, we knew exactly what we needed to do, how to go about it, the order of in which to do things. And so we were able to convert it in a couple of months. And then we were desperate to go off and try this new van, and we started to put some big trips in. And very quickly we said, this is it, this is what we want to do.
I think it was it was our youngest daughter, Izzy, saying that she was going to go off travelling. And we just sort of thought, well, if she's going to do it, then why are we staying here? Why are we not? Both our girls are independent and off doing their own thing, aren't they?
I think also there seems to be a different mindset with a younger generation, whereas we come from a generation where you'd do your education, then you'd have a career, and then you retire. Whereas actually nowadays, the younger ones seem to do it, in installments, and they do a little bit of traveling, a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of work. And I kept looking at that enviously, thinking, that's right, that's how we should be living, that's how we should all be living. We shouldn't be slaves to a wage or to a career.
What's expected of us?
Yeah, what society expects of us. And I think getting our heads in the right place for that, because we of our generation, we had to get our mindset in the right place before we could make this jump. Okay, so this is our home. It's a Peugeot Boxer. It's an extra long wheelbase, high roof, and it used to be a Scottish ambulance. We bought the van for £3,500. We've put some more meaty looking tyres on it after getting stuck a few times. Yeah. We've got a big LED strip light up there. Scottish ambulances are white, unlike the English ones, which are that sort of lime yellow colour, but we've painted it ourselves. We spent about 4 days scrubbing everything down, prepping it and painting it, and we've probably spent somewhere in the region of, I would say, £5,000 to £7,000. We don't have an exact figure.
Alright guys, today we partnered with Wild, who are helping making it possible to bring you these videos. Wild are the brand that are shaking up throwaway culture with their refillable deodorant, lip balm and body wash.
So I've been using Wild deodorant for well over a year now, and honestly no other product compares. It's proven to give 24-hour protection, and I can absolutely vouch for that. I also love that it's sustainable. Each refill saves 30 grams of plastic, and the case is premium reusable and made from aluminium.
With a range of cases and scents, Wild is for everybody. For me, the best thing about Wild is that it's made with natural ingredients, meaning that you can stay fresh without the compromise of putting the nasties on your body.
So we definitely recommend switching to Wild deodorant. Use the QR code on screen now or use our discount code LIBERATION for 20% off all Wild products. But it's for a limited time only, so don't miss out. And with that, thanks to Wild for partnering with us on this video. Back to it.
So on the side, this is just a weather station monitor. We put one on the outside and then we have a reader on the inside. It's nothing fancy, it's a 14 quid little special, but you know, obviously when you're outside and living in these environments, the weather's quite an important factor, so you want to be able to keep an eye on it. Sometimes when we're parked up in more urban areas, we just want a peace of mind, and we use a couple of these little motion sensor camera type things, just connects to an app on our phone, and then we can just pop these up high like that. We've got a little bit of Wi-Fi in the van as well, so they'll just connect to that network, and then we can just have a quick look outside the van and just make sure we're all good.
These are actually the windows that came with the ambulance, so we've not changed anything on the windows. So we had windows, we've got a skylight at the top, we've got an extractor fan, and we've got a roof vent, and these were all part of the ambulance. We've also got up here, we've got recovery tracks. Like we said before, we have been stuck a couple of times, so we upgraded our tyres, and we also carry the recovery tracks to get out of any situations as well.
So on the roof we've got 2 solar panels, each of 175 watts, giving us 350 watts. I've wired those up so that it maximises the amperage rather than the wattage, and that helps the charging a little bit. We've also got 2 great big large waterproof containers up there, and that's just got extra winter gear, breakdown kit, recovery kit, and that sort of thing. And then in between those, in a waterproof bag, we've got a paddle board. Roof racks for this sort of size of vehicle are really expensive, so we made our own out of Unistrut. I think the whole thing cost us £60.
This is our trash bag, so it's a take on the Trasheroo. It's not a branded one, we just had a Yeti sticker which we popped on the back of it. But this house is, you know, when we're out in remote locations and we've got all our rubbish, we just pop it in here until we can actually get to a bin and dispose of it.
So it gets the rubbish out of the van, put it in the bag, but the other thing you can do is when your laundry is starting to get a bit big, you can put that in there as well, so long as obviously they're in 2 separate bags inside as well. So it just frees up a little bit of space out here, and if anybody goes and nicks it, all they're doing is taking your rubbish away for you. So it's a win-win. Okay, so a lot of these layouts you can naturally build a garage under your bed, which we've done here as well. Ours is absolutely packed with stuff, but because we're still early on in our journey here, we're learning and we're refining what we need to take with us and what we don't. And because we've come straight into this van life in winter, we've got a couple of pairs of wellies which are an absolute must. I've got a little telescopic ladder there for getting up on the roof. I've got some chocks here just for leveling, and then we've got a few boxes at the back with some toolkits, walking boots, rucksacks, all that sort of gear. Under here is the gas heater that gives us hot water towards the shower, and we carry a little LPG patio heater type gas bottle for that. On the left hand side we've got that 80-litre water tank that Diane mentioned. On the right hand side, you can just make it out under there, we've got 460 amp hours of lithium battery, so it's a bit of a big beast, but because we've chosen to go down this electric route, we needed that capability. In addition to that, we've got a couple of Victron items, solar charge controller under there, and a battery to battery charger, as well as the AC to DC charger as well. So this was the original ambulance electric hookup, and we just reinstated that and utilized it, and we use that for our electric hookup on the odd occasion when we go into a campsite.
I think if we were doing it again, we would probably start with a plain panel van, because you have all the ambulance interior to take out, and that does take a lot of work. On the floor we had metal traction boards to take out as well, and everything is riveted in and it's all aluminium, so it does take a lot of work to do that.
If you're going to get an ambulance and you're going to convert it, be mindful that it's going to take a long time to get down to the base before you can actually start the conversion.
We had some family, maybe again just sort of older generation of family, that it seemed a bit strange to them, you sort of actually moving and into a van and not having any backup available. But on the whole, everybody else or people we've met have been really supportive and sort of say, oh, I wish I had the guts to do that. A lot of customers at the cafe who had become friends and things were all saying, wish we could do that, or we were at that stage in our life that we could do that.
I think people see it as being a risky option, and I don't know, I think sometimes I look back at it and saying there's only one risk in life. There's an old quote, there's only one risk in life, and that's not taking one. And for me, the risk is to stay back in that rut, keep paying those bills, let your life tick away. I know it sounds a bit morbid, but let your life tick away and then have all these regrets at the end of your life. You know, it's so important that you can get your head into the right place and say, no, do you know what? We just need to go do something different. Just break that mold. I don't think we've any regrets at all about these decisions we've made.
I'm the more analytical and emotional person, so I have to know that everything is going to work. So on all our travels that we've done, I have had a little budget sheet where we have been working to a budget and doing our daily spends, because I knew if we wanted to do this, we were going to be surviving on a pension that was coming in at the moment. So we wanted to know that we could go off and do it and not be worried financially, because what was the point in doing it then, if we were going to put ourselves into a financial situation. So we were quite happy with the way that had worked out.
To live this way, we spend just under £400 a month. A big lump of that is for our storage. We budget tightly, so we do monitor our spending. It costs us about £100 to fill the tank up. But because of the way we travel slowly. We don't drive fast and use a lot of gas, so we're conservative with the fuel. We prefer to make our own meals in the evening. We prefer to be away from places. If we can suddenly find ourselves 2 or 3 days in the same place or just hopping around a location, we can go, half a week and we've not spent a penny. You become more mindful of material things. I think for us, minimizing our spend all the time. Do we really need that? Is it going to add any value to our lifestyle?
So we decided that we wanted an open plan van. We also, when the weather's bad, wanted to be able to come from our front seat straight into our living area. So we took the bulkhead out on this one. These are the original ambulance seats as well. It's really hard to sort of get a single passenger seat. And we also put the swivel on so that we could use this extra space. We can lift up the table here as well. This pulls forward and we can actually work at this space.
So up here we just keep a few baskets with extra outdoor warm gear. We've got some spare bedding, spare coats. We've got a little bit of camera gear down here. You can't see it very well, but blended in there is the screen covers just to give us a bit of privacy and extra warmth at night. And we've also got a little indoor camera here as well. So when we go out and on occasions when we leave the dogs in here, if we want to nip out and we just want peace of mind that they're okay, we can just power that on, connects to the van Wi-Fi, and then we can just keep an eye on the dogs with the phone app. The ceiling, although it looks quite fancy, is actually just plywood, and it's 6mm plywood, and they've been cut at 100mm thickness. The lights are just little low energy LED lights. They just give us a main cab light. But to be honest with you, we don't use it a great deal at all. We tend to use the ones underneath the kitchen a little bit more, plus the 2 reading lights, and that just keeps the mood and the comfort feel.
This is actually one of my favourite bits about the van. It's just our bookshelf. It's really simple, but it houses, some of our travel books, binoculars, things like that. We've also got the name of the van, which is up here, called Mac, for both being a Scottish ambulance and also after my dad, who was a great lover of the outdoors as well. And we've also got a couple of little folding hooks here, so when we're coming in and we've got wet coats, we just pop them on there to dry.
Okay, so on either side of this, we've got just these little 12-volt reading lights, And then above that, we've got a small 4G router. It just has a little Smarty SIM card in. I think we spend about £10, £12 a month. It's just gone up now. We've got a skylight here, but we've got a bug net that we keep in there permanently because we do spend a fair bit of time in Scotland. The midges, anybody who's been there in the summer knows all about the midges. They're horrendous and they will find every single little gap into your van. So we keep this one here, and that's just a roof skylight that we can just push up and get a bit of air vent.
So this side we've got our kitchen area, and we've actually used IKEA units. One of our upgrades when we knew we were going to go full time was to upgrade the battery and to go for an induction hob. So we're fully electric on board. We don't have gas. So this has worked really well for us and boils kettle in a matter of minutes. We have a small fridge, which is our 12-volt fridge.
Yep.
And up here as well, we've just got some more storage and some toiletries that are kept in here. And towards the front in this unit, we have a larder. We can cook most things in here. Obviously, we've just got the hob on display, but we also carry on board a small mini oven as well, which just plugs into our power points here. It's just a small compact 10-litre oven, but we did manage to make some scones in it the other day. On this side, we've got our sink, swivel tap with the pull-out shower area. And then in here, we've got a really deep sink. Underneath here, we've just got all our toiletries. Just underneath the double bed, we've got an 80-litre water tank on board, and that's where all our water comes from. We've got an underslung waste tank, which is 25 litres.
We don't necessarily like to drink the water from the main tank. So underneath here, we have a 10-litre container that we fill up with knowing fresh water, and we can keep that sort of nice and clean. And we have one of these little USB rechargeable tap. It's a tap and pump in one, and you can set the dosage on it to however, 600 ml, set the dosage and it'll just dispense that amount. I really want to try it with Prosecco or beer, but I'm not sure if Diane will allow that just yet. Okay, so this is a sort of a U-shaped sofa. We've got it set up as a U-shape at the moment, but the platform I'm sitting on also comes up and makes a table, and we can use that to work at, eat at, or whatever, but a lot of the time we just keep it like this. We have a second board underneath here as well that we can pull forward and sit on here, and then we can bring all of these cushions together and create another bed.
I think it was quite important to us as well with living in the van to have a comfortable seating area. So the fact that we've got this, we can put our feet up on an evening and slouch.
We like to lounge. We like to lounge around. The dogs like to spread out and make themselves at home wherever they like as well. Underneath this side here, we've got our diesel heater. We carry some other bits pieces.
Well, we have our ovens in there, and then we've just got other general bits of storage in there as well.
We've got a toilet and a shower, but it's not a full-blown shower. It's a pop-up system we use. But I'll just show you that. We keep that under this cushions. It takes no time at all to get in there. We've got a little sort of double folding setup here, and we just lock that lid in place. We've got a composting loo here, one of the TRELINO ones. If anybody's watching this, this is the way to go. They are fantastic. I was a bit skeptical about it. I thought about odours and all that. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to lift the lid, don't worry, it's all clean. But it's so easy to use. You can separate your liquids and solids. That's absolutely brilliant. We've modified this one and put some handles on it so we can lift it out of the way nice and easy. And then we've got a shower tray here. We have a shower head down there that we just feed in. We clip in a shower frame up here, and our curtain just drops down into the tray, and then we can just step inside, shower off. And it is sort of navy type showers. Get yourself wet, turn the water off, wash, water back on, rinse off, and you're out.
So we went for a fixed double bed. Above us, we've got some storage, and Nige and I have one side each for our clothes storage on here. Our little bracket that's underneath holds our iPad, so we can sit in bed and watch a film or some YouTube videos. And then just above our bed, we've just got some excess storage. We've also got two lights to the rear, which have also got USB points on them for charging. And our blinds at the back are the original ambulance blinds as well. So we kept them in their sort of blackout blinds that are there too. We have a curtain that we've sort of made at the back as well, just to keep the van cosy. But at the back of it, we've also put in a plastic curtain, because if we need to get into the garage in wet weather, we don't want the rain coming in on the bed. So that just comes down and tucks in, which keeps all our bedding dry if we need to get into the garage. My favourite thing about the van is the opportunities it gives you to go to different places, to get off the beaten track. Therefore, it gives you sort of different experiences. Normally, we would have been going from A to B and we wouldn't have stopped at some of these areas. So I like that, I find that really exciting. The least favourite, I would say, maybe sometimes is the space. I would sometimes like to have a bit more space, but the compromise is that we probably wouldn't be able to get to a lot of the remote places. So it's easier to work with what we've got, and yeah, that works for us.
I think my favourite thing about this lifestyle and having the van is the freedom that it gives you to make decisions at a whim. You don't need to think about, I've got to be back for work, or we've got to get back to get the kids to school, or any of those sort of things. If you decide you want to go to Scotland, or you want to go to Cornwall, or you want to go to Morocco, you can just do it pretty much. I think probably my biggest, it's not a worst thing about the van, it's just a concern, is that all the time you're constantly thinking about the mechanical side of the van. Are we going to have a problem? What happens if it breaks down here or there, and stuff like that. Now, we've got stuff in place to deal with that, but there's always going to be a little bit of it that's going to be gnawing away at you, you know, and you start listening for noises and think, oh, I didn't hear that sound before, what's that, you know, and it just turns out you're on a different road surface and the tyres are making a different noise or something like that. But that is always going to be there, and you just got to learn to live with it.
We live with 2 Springer Spaniels in this space. It's a brilliant lifestyle for them. They're spending so much time outdoors and they just run themselves ragged, don't they?
Yeah, as soon as we pull into a place, that door's open and they're gone, they're exploring, they're on their next adventure. Dogs are great company. And like last night when it was freezing cold,
some warm.
There are a lot of warmth as well to having board. So dogs are great. They force you out of the van when the weather's a bit grim as well, because they still got to go out. They're just the best travelling partners you can have, apart from Diane, of course.
What would be the one thing you would say to people, maybe in a similar situation, thinking I could do this, like I would like to do it?
I would say to them to trial it out. Hire a van or convert a van, use it on weekends, go away for trips, see how it works for you. What you find you need in the van is not necessarily the same as somebody else needs. And if all of that is okay, then I would say don't delay, you know, go for it, go and enjoy the experience whilst you can.
I would say to anybody who's thinking about this sort of lifestyle is find a way to make it happen. Don't find a reason not to do it, find a reason to do it, or a way to do it. If you've got children that are at school and you're thinking, I can't do this because of kids, homeschool them, or think about it, look at it, investigate it. We've met tons of people in Europe and in UK who travel with their kids full time, and those children are some of the well-rounded kids we've ever met. They are, you know, and you learn so much about life when you're traveling. You're in situations, you learn how to look after yourself, you know, you learn new experiences, you talk to people all the time. So find a way to make it happen. It doesn't have to be an end game. There's always a way you can go back. And I think that's what people worry about, is that, you know, it's such a risk that you're taking, that once you've jumped ship, you can't ever go back. You can. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed listening to what we've got to say about our lifestyle. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the van. We are on Instagram at thisis_vanlife if you want to give us a follow. We'd love to see you there. Oh, we're just playing on this YouTube thing. We're not as good as these guys just yet, but we're on YouTube as well. Also, This Is Van Life. And thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
All right guys, thanks for tuning in there, and a big thanks to Nige and Diane for sharing the story with us and showing us around.
Make sure to check them out on the socials. All the links will be down below in the description, and let us know in the comments what you thought of the video, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. See you in the next one.